Welcome to Humanhood101's Parental Confessions. I am your host, Alpha Tarai, and this podcast is focused on parenting, not just parenting, but the expressions, the deep-rooted feelings, the hidden thoughts, and confessions of parents. So what we'll do is have the most amazing parents, the most amazing people that are parents from around the world visit the show and interview them so they can share their experiences, their triumphs, their struggles, and their moments of mastery with all of my listeners. So this will be an awesome show. I'm so excited to get it kicked off and get it started. I think it's important for parents to have an opportunity, a platform, and a vision, a thought that they can express themselves and that they can talk about things that they probably don't think they're allowed to speak on. This show will give not only the parents opportunity to express themselves and to talk about the feelings and thoughts that they've had that they might have been afraid to share and get feedback on, but it will also give the opportunity for the listeners to be inspired by the courage, by the triumph, and by the strength of parents that have been going through some things that we might find all of us have gone through at some point of our lives. I think it's really important to present an opportunity to parents to be able to talk and express themselves and get feedback and reflection, because parenting is not a simple job. I shouldn't even call it a job. It is a mission. It is a responsibility. It is a right. And, it's interesting because we have these children and we don't ever receive any kind of manual, any instruction booklet on how to do it. I remember hearing someone say that, and it resonated with me so intensely. I think that learning and dealing with the trial and error of parenting is very, very intense. And it can have moments that will leave you in vulnerable states, and some of us frustrated states, and some of us moments of anger, moments of sadness, moments of all the things that we might not want to experience. And that's what this podcast is about. We're going to have an amazing set of interviews with beautiful, strong parents from all over the world. I have artists, I have doctors, I have radio personalities, I have teachers, educators, I have people that you've seen on television. I have all kind of folks that we will be interviewing for Parental Confessions. And I really am looking forward to not only the parents being able to express themselves and continue to share their experiences, but the listeners having the opportunity to be inspired by what they hear the parents going through. I guess it's a good opportunity, and it's only right for me to share my parenting experiences in regards to what I might want to confess on the show, on the first episode, right? So parenting for me has been amazing. And I say that not with a complete energy of sunshine and bright day. I say that with an understanding that it has been a beautiful struggle. With all of the experience I've had, I want to say about 23 years in education, human development, child development, community development. I've done work around the world, literally in multiple countries with children and families. And I would like to say a lot of that didn't amount to much when approaching the development, connection, and bonding with my own child. It's interesting. And all of the teachers and educators out there that have worked with families and children throughout the course of their lives and then later wind up having children themselves, I'm sure that they can agree that teaching other children is completely different from when you're working with your own child. So for me, it was very interesting. It was very difficult because I will first confess that I thought I knew it all. I thought I had it all figured out. I was called the child whisperer. I was called the baby guru when I was younger and first started working with children, and everyone loved me. All the parents, they just thought I was the greatest person that has ever worked with their children. They used to ask me to take the kids home with me. They used to ask me to come to their home. And it was just an amazing experience getting all this wonderful feedback and all this amazing reflection from these parents because of the work that I was doing with their children. All of that, when I took to finally, years later, approach my own child, I found that I knew nothing. Now, I will say this: the training, the care, the knowledge of child development, the understanding of what works physically, tangibly, knowing, how to feed, how not to, different aspects of listening to communication, and just all of those basic things that a lot of people might need to work on. I want to say I was in an advantageous state when dealing with the development of my daughter. But when it came to understanding how to deal with the mind, when it came with understanding how to deal with the emotion, when it came with understanding how to deal with my own lack of as a human being in relation to the development of my child, I was lost. And most people don't take that into consideration, that when they're raising and dealing with their child, they have to find a way to reflect and remember how they were raised and how they were dealt with. And I was just reacting. And when she became about 3 years old, that's when I started to realize difficulty, because she was forming her own independent, concrete ideas and her own ability to express and articulate and use intellect to make choices and decisions. I raised a really interesting young lady. She's brilliant. She's way more intelligent and brilliant than I was at her age. But I wasn't ready for that. And I was simply not ready because I didn't take the time to revisit, to review, and remember how I was raised. So a lot of what I was dealing with, without even knowing that I was dealing with, I was passing on and projecting to her. So it took me some time to journal, to reflect, to observe myself, not just through her, but through my own self, and see what I was doing and see why I was doing it. And once I found a pathway into how to really connect with my child, I understood that that only came from me connecting with my total self. So again, my confession will be to my confession is that I approach parenting like I knew it all. Like I had all the answers. Like I knew exactly what to do. I knew what to do before it even happened. I was a parental psychic. I just knew I had all the answers. I just knew I was going to do everything to a T of perfection. And that led me into moments of frustration and anger and sadness. And you know what? It was a beautiful struggle because it gave me so much to look forward to in regards to growth and evolution. It gave me, once I realized what I was dealing with, once I realized where I was in my mind's eye when it comes to parenting, it gave me such an amazing opportunity to be the best I can be at not only parenting, but as a human being. So that's my confession. And I do have a few more, but I can't let all of them out at one time. I got to make sure that y'all are with me and listening and willing and ready to commit to one day being able to confess yourself. And even if you're not on a radio show, if you're not on a podcast, if you're not in therapy, if you don't have a mentor or somebody to talk to, I will say this one thing. Take the time to talk to yourself. Take the time to communicate with yourself. Take the time to hear your thoughts and to listen to your feelings and to think about what you think about. Once you have the most complete bonding relationship with yourself, you'll have a better ability to connect and bond with your child. It's real simple, and a lot of us take the complicated road into parenting. We take the complicated road into loving ourselves, into loving our children, into understanding our children, and trying to understand ourselves. So I'm so excited. This is going to be a great and amazing podcast. It's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be something that most people, if not anybody, has ever experienced before. I can't wait to hear what you all think. I can't wait to hear how you all respond to the amazing interviews that we have lined up, to the amazing interviews that I've already got waiting for y'all. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an experience that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life and be able to pass on to those after. That will conclude our episode for today. I can't wait to get to episode 2. We have something really special in store. We have a great interview that I'm going to release. And remember, one breath, one thought, one experience at a time. This is Humanhood 101's Parental Confession. Peace.